Hello to all Cinemaster lovers. Hope you enjoy watching. Let's get started. The series 12 kicks off by revealing that at the dawn of the universe, Light created 12 angels to protect the Earth. Each angel had the power of a different animal, and the 12 angels were all tied to the Korean zodiac signs. But then, darkness decided to strike back against the light and created evil spirits, sparking a war between the 12 angels and the malevolent spirits. In the end, the angels won, but only 8 survived. 4 of them died. After that, the angels gave up their supernatural powers and started living among humans, hiding their true identities from everyone. In the present day, we meet Tison, the leader of the angels, who represents the tiger sign and is the head of the angel organization that gives out loans to criminals. One of the people who took a loan was Yong, who's currently in prison. Tison personally goes to see him to collect the 2 billion won he owes for his loan. Tison tells him, "If you sell your car and house, you can pay me back. Just sign here and I'll cover the rest." But Yong just laughs and mocks him, saying, "When I get out, I'll work hard and pay off my debt, but I'm not selling my stuff." Tison replies, "I've run this organization for 100 years and never failed to collect money from anyone." Yong asks, "How are you even still alive after all this time?" Tison doesn't answer and just leaves. Then Tison calls Weetel, the angel representing the rat, and asks him to pay Jong's bail to get him out of prison. Weetel does as he's told and pays the money. Elsewhere in the city, we meet Dawn, the angel of the hippo sign, who runs a clinic with his partner Bang, the snake sign angel. They're both really good at their jobs, but Bang's treatment methods are so intense she almost breaks patients' necks. One patient even passes out, and another gets freaked out and leaves. Dawn tells Bang, "I told you before, try to be gentle. You're scaring the patients." Suddenly, the patient wakes up, feeling better, and thanks Bang for curing his headache. But Bang doesn't reply because she's actually mute. Dawn reads her thoughts and translates for her, then gives the patient some medicine, telling him, "We sell this at a lower price than anywhere else." We find out that Bang and Dawn don't work for the angel organization that gives out loans. They chose to do their own thing. Next, we meet Rock, the human investigator who protects the angels. He calls Tyson and asks him to send some money, which Tyson does right away. Rock then buys some clothes as gifts for Mir, the 4th angel who represents the dragon. Mir works at the city museum, telling people the legend of the 12 angels who fought the evil spirits. She spots Rock in the audience, and after her talk, she meets him alone. He gives her the clothes he bought, but she says, "I don't need your gifts, especially since they're from Tislin's money. And I told you before, don't come to my workplace." Rock insists, "The angels need to stay united. You can't keep separating yourself from the others. I'm responsible for your safety." But Mir isn't convinced and says she has to leave. Turns out she's been separated from the angels for 10 years because she's upset with Tison about something. When she returns to the museum, she takes out her talisman with the dragon sigil. Each angel has a similar talisman. Meanwhile, Yong is out of prison and heads to his base to meet his crew, not knowing the angels were behind his release. He celebrates with his guys and his girlfriend. Tison calls him to say, "I paid your bail and got you out. Now I'm coming to collect the loan money." Yong hangs up on him and orders his men to get ready to kill Tison. Sure enough, his men get prepared, and a few minutes later, Tison shows up and faces Yong's crew. They attack, but Tison takes them all down with a punch each, dodging their blows and countering fast and hard. Even though they outnumber him, Tison wipes the floor with them. Yong is shocked by what he sees. Tison finishes off the last 2 guys, then goes to confront Yong himself. Yong freaks out and opens the vault. Tyson sits at the desk and orders him to bring the money. Tison gets all his cash back. At the same time, Tison's other teammates, the horse, monkey, and dog angels, are on another mission. They head to a gang's HQ to collect money owed to the angel organization. Sun tells his teammates, "Wait in the car. I'll handle this alone." He goes in and sees the gang members gathered. The gang leader tells his guys to get the shipment ready because the angel organization could show up anytime. He doesn't know they're already there. Sun sneaks up and attacks 3 of them, but it turns out that Sok and Kanji have already beaten them because they got bored waiting. The 3 of them head for the room with the gang's cash, while Weetel is in the car after hacking the security cameras, guiding his teammates on where to go. The gang boss spots the 3 angels and orders his men to attack right away. A brutal fight breaks out, with tons of guys trying to take them down, But the three angels are just as skilled as Tyson and take everyone out one by one. The gang boss tries to escape with the money after seeing his men get wrecked, but Weetel is watching him on the cameras and tells his teammates where he's going. Sock chases after him, but the boss bumps into Don, who suddenly shows up and slows him down. Sock finishes the boss off with one kick. Don's happy to see his teammate and says, "I was just walking by here by chance." Sock thanks him for the help and tells the others the mission's a success. Sock takes the cash from the gang's bag. Meanwhile, Tissan stops his car at a restaurant to meet his old friend Jimson, one of the few people who knows the truth about the angels. She's thrilled to see him and notices he looks down, so she tells him to take care of his health, work out, and not let anything get him down. Tissan says, "I've been working out for 5,000 years, I'm sick of it." She tells him, "Your job is to live a long time to protect humanity." He replies, "I gave up protecting humans." They remember when Tyson beat up some criminals who tried to rob Jimson and her mom. She tells him, "Even if you're an angel, you must be exhausted and losing your family because of your sacrifices. But remember, people will always appreciate what you've done, just like I still remember how you saved me and my mom." Tyson pinches her cheeks and says, "You've grown up so much." She gets up to bring him food. Tyson wants to leave her some money, but she refuses. He says, "Why are you always so stubborn?" Suddenly, an old man hits Tyson with a stick and says, "I've been watching you for a while, seeing you pinch the lady's cheeks and talk to her in a weird way. How dare you treat an old woman like that?" Tyson replies, "I've known her since she was a little girl." Then Tyson recognizes the old man and says, "Aren't you the son of the bookstore owner?" The old man remembers and says, "How are you still so young?" The two of them hug. Meanwhile, at the police station, investigator Rock is watching the news about scientists and strange relics at the excavation site. They're saying that the artifact is extremely valuable, and the scientists detect a huge energy coming from it. Then we see a group of people arrive at the dig site. One of them cuts his hand, and his blood drips onto the spirit stones, which start glowing green and displaying strange symbols. After that, they head to the temple and talk to their leader, a cleric named Samin. They tell him, "After years of searching, we finally found the spirit of Ojui, who is one of the malevolent spirits the 12 angels fought ages ago." Tyson has no clue any of this is happening. He heads to the angel organization's headquarters, but no one is there. So he goes to his office, opens his secret vault where he keeps all his fortune, and adds the money he made today. Tyson is happy with his wealth and thinks about what Jimson told him about finding a happy life. He has no idea his old enemy, Ojui, is about to return from the dead. At the same time, we see Samin at the excavation site performing a special ritual, Tokus, offering his blood to break the curse. He puts his hand on the spirit stones, and suddenly the sky turns red, and a massive power begins to emerge. Samin can't handle the force and gets thrown back, but he doesn't give up. He goes back to the stones, cuts his hand again to spill more blood, and stands his ground through the pain until he finally opens the prison of the malevolent spirits and releases Ojui, who emerges with huge wings. Meanwhile, Tyson is remembering the past, back when he lived in a village with the other angels. He and Mir went out to buy some things, and some criminals attacked a local couple to steal their money. Tyson steps in and takes down one of the thugs, while Mir uses her supernatural power on the rest and sends them flying. We learn that Mir is the only angel who still has her supernatural ability. But when the villagers see what Mir did, they get scared of her and think she's a witch. After dealing with the criminals, Tyson pulls Mir aside and tells her she shouldn't reveal her power in front of humans like that. That night, the couple Tyson saved sends food to Tyson and the other angels to thank them for their help. At first, Tyson refuses to take the food, but the other angels want to accept it. After they eat, everyone falls asleep. A few hours later, Tyson wakes up with a strange headache and is surprised to see all the angels still sleeping. He hears a commotion outside and finds the villagers have tied Mir to a stake and want to burn her alive, thinking she's a witch. Mir is unconscious. Tyson wakes his friends to help save her, but they're out of it and suspect the food was drugged. Tyson rushes out alone, pushes everyone out of his way, and tries to wake Mir up, but she's completely sedated. He frees her, lifts the stake, and throws it at the villagers with force. The villagers freak out and run away. Tyson tells his friends, "Humans have a lot of evil inside them. From now on, I won't protect them anymore." Back to the present. Ojui is now free and realizes Samin is the one who released him. He says, "I've been waiting for this moment for 1,000 years." But instead of thanking Samin, Ojui grabs him by the face and says, "You didn't give it your all to free me." Samin's followers try to intervene, but Ojui easily knocks them away with his wings. Samin pleads for mercy, saying, "I risked my life to free you, and I need your help because the angels are still alive." The next day, Sock and Kanji invite Don to go running with them, but Don is tired before they even start. He hates running and loves eating more than anything else, so Sock and Kanji decide to go without him. Kanji tells Don, "I'll catch up with you later," and Don runs off to buy something to eat. A dog barks at him, and it turns out Don can understand animal animal language too. The dog wants to eat with him, but Don refuses and tells the dog, "You have to avoid eating humans if you want to live longer." The dog gets angry and curses at him, so Don gets mad and is about to confront the dog, but the dog's owner shows up, scared of Don. Sok and Kanji pass by and see what's happening, so they step in and take Don away, telling him, "You can't show your powers like that in front of humans or you'll get in trouble." Somewhere else, Oju-Wee is walking down the street when he's hit with a massive headache. Nearby, Mir is out for a walk and senses a strange power close by, but can't pinpoint it, though it feels familiar. Oju-Wee goes to sit alone and remembers when Rock and Teeson cursed him and locked him away. Later, Mir sits alone at a bar, and a guy tries to hit on her, but she ignores him. Then his friend shows up and invites Mir to go out with them. Mir agrees, but as soon as they get up to leave, she knocks them both out effortlessly, pays the bill, and leaves. Meanwhile, Oju-Wee is sitting on a rooftop with Saman saying, "The world has changed a lot since I was imprisoned." Saman tells him, "I lost my power after the malevolent spirits died, and I've been waiting for the right time to release you." Oju-Wee asks, "What do you want from me?" Saman says, "The world needs to be plunged into darkness again, and I want your help." Oju-Wee says, "I can't face the angels alone." Saman replies, "On the contrary, the angels have lost their powers and are living as ordinary humans." Saman has a plan to give Oju-Wee even more power. He wants to give him the spirit of Haitai. He says, "When Teeson killed Haitai, it left behind 3 spirit stones. If you gather them, you'll get unlimited power." It sounds tempting, but Oju-Wee doesn't trust Saman and asks, "What's your real motive?" Saman says, "If I can unlock Haitai's power, I'll be immortal again." Oju-Wee agrees to work with him but warns, "If you betray me, I'll take your head off." Then Oju-Wee flies away. Later, the angels gather for dinner outside because today is their birthday. They were all born on the same day except for Tyson, who was born on a different day. They reminisce about the old days. The next day, they meet up again for lunch and wonder why Teeson didn't join them. Weetel tells them, Teeson went on a special mission. Meanwhile, Teeson goes to collect some money. A call comes in from the owner of a car dealership. As usual, Teeson had already beaten up his men and taken his money. Afterwards, he gets into his car but realizes he's out of his meds, so he heads to the doctor's clinic. Even though Teeson is an angel, he suffers from shortness of breath and some mental stress. The doctor tells him he needs to attend therapy sessions, but Teeson doesn't want to waste time on that, so he gives the doctor money to just buy the meds from him. Then, he crashes at the doctor's place. Meanwhile, we cut to Saman and his men, who warn him not to help Oju-Wee because he seems super dangerous. Samin agrees and decides to switch up his plan. He transfers evil spirits into his men, so the malevolent spirits take control of them, and they all go through a temporal gate. At the same time, the angels' talismans start glowing, and they realize that evil spirits have been unleashed. Rock, who also has a talisman like the other angels, sees his light up and immediately calls the angels. He tries to call Mir, but she doesn't answer because she's busy at the museum where she works. Teeson and Bang also don't answer Rock's calls since Tyson is napping at the doctor's, so only 5 angels manage to gather and try to figure out what to do. Kanji uses her supernatural ability to track the evil spirits and figures out they're heading to the museum where Mir works, so they decide to head there. Meanwhile, Mir finishes her shift and heads to the parking garage, but she senses the evil spirits and sees her talisman glowing. When she looks behind her, she sees Saman's men coming at her. She starts fighting them, using her supernatural powers, but they still manage to beat her up. Just then, the other angels arrive and jump into a fierce battle with the evil spirits, but the angels are weaker and end up losing because they don't have their supernatural abilities. At this point, Teeson returns to the Angels HQ, surprised that no one's there. He discovers they tried to call him and is shocked when he sees his talisman glowing. Bang comes in and shows him her talisman is glowing too. Meanwhile, Sok is fighting with everything she's got, but in the end, she gets defeated. They all try to save Mir but fail. Saman is watching the whole fight from afar. Just as Saman's men are about to abduct Mir, Rock shows up, pulls out his scepter, and fights the evil spirits, freezing them all. He then gathers with the angels and Weetel tells him the evil spirits are super strong. While Oju-Wee is standing on a distant rooftop, he uses his supernatural power to see them in the garage, and you can tell he gets annoyed when he spots Rock specifically. At the same time, one of the evil spirits manages to break free from the freezing spell, grabs Rock by the neck, and starts choking him. But Sun comes in and knocks the spirit away. Seconds later, all the evil spirits break free. Rock tries to freeze them again, but Saman pulls them all out of the garage. Rock manages to grab one before he leaves, and when he puts his hand on its head, he reads its thoughts and is shocked to learn that Samin is their leader. Rock hides this truth from the angels and just tells them, "Let's get out of here." Sun tells Rock he still senses an evil spirit nearby, but none of them realize Oju-Wee is watching them the whole time. After that, they head to Bang's clinic. Teeson is super worried about everyone, so Rock sits with him and explains what happened. Once Mir recovers, she leaves. Tison comes in, and Kanji tells him, "We need to hunt down these evil spirits and destroy them." They're all confused about how the evil spirits got released, but they believe that if they team up, they can defeat them. They need to act fast before anyone gets hurt. Tison interrupts and says, "Forget about humans. We need to focus on keeping ourselves safe. That's the most important thing." Kanji objects, saying, "That's not responsible. Our purpose is to protect humans, and we have to stick to that duty until the end." Tison shoots back, "And what have we gotten from protecting humans all these years? I refuse to protect them if it's going to put you all in danger. I'm not willing to lose anyone else." Kanji disagrees and says, "I'm willing to die to protect humans." But Tison ignores her and walks out. Afterwards, Rock sits with Sun at a restaurant and tricks him, saying, "Tison actually wanted to ask you to look for the evil spirits because he really does want to help humans. He's just worried about the angels. He keeps looking at you because he wants to say you're the new leader after him, but he's too shy to say it out loud." Sun totally buys it. Meanwhile, Tison opens a hidden vault in his safe, goes down into it, and remembers the 4 angels who died in the past. Everyone cries for them. Rock uses the scepter to preserve their bodies. Back in the present, Rock meets up with Tison and tells him Samin is the one who awakened the evil spirits. Tison is shocked and says, "How is he even alive? He should be human now, just like us." Anyway, the angels have nothing to do with this. Rock insists, "Our mission is to protect humans." Tison replies, "My mission is to protect my family, and we don't even have supernatural powers to fight them anymore." He leaves. Later, Mir arrives at the Angels HQ with her bag, and Rock is happy she's decided to move back in. Kanji, on the other hand, is still upset that Tison refused to protect humans. Meanwhile, Tison goes to see the elderly Jimson, pulls out a bag of cash and says he wants to buy her food truck. He hands her a plane ticket and tells her things are about to get really dangerous, so he wants her to leave the country. We realize he's doing this because he's worried about her safety with all the evil spirits around. Meanwhile, Masun gets a device from Weetel that will help him track down the evil spirits, but he won't tell Weetel what exactly he's looking for. He heads to the forest to search but doesn't find anything. Rock learns that a spirit stone was stolen from the excavation site, but he doesn't know yet that Oju Wee is the one who took it. Later, Mir and some of the angels go to visit an orphanage to bring food and cheer up the kids. But Mir suddenly has a vision of the future and sees the angels losing a fight, unable to defend themselves. Meanwhile, Tison is surprised when Jimson and her husband come to visit him. Jimson refuses to take the money or the plane ticket, telling him, "There's no way I'm leaving my mother's food truck or my country. My mom worked for years to keep us going, and I'm not giving up on it now." Tison remembers when the angels told him that a gang of bandits didn't pay back the loan they took from them and bought the land where the market is. Tison tells them that land belongs to us until they pay off their debt. Sok and Kanji say the gang is destroying the shops of poor people and that they need to step in and help. But Tison says, "Forget about humans, we're just here to get what's ours." Meanwhile, the gang is actually out there trashing the shops of poor people, trying to force them out. And the gang leader says, "Jimson's mom, take your stuff and quietly leave from here." And honestly, there was nothing the mom could do. After that, Tison and the angels arrive, and Sun tells the gang, "This land is ours until you pay off the loan you owe, so everything here belongs to us." Of course, the gang boss orders his guys to attack them. They launch a brutal attack and break their bones one by one. Tison goes straight for the gang boss and takes him down, telling him, "Didn't I tell you to stop this gang nonsense?" The boss apologizes and promises, "From now on, I'll be a good person." Jimson saw all this and was impressed by Tison's courage. 2 days later, Tison and the angels are having a meal at Jimson's mom's place. Tison asks her, "Did the gang come back here again?" She says, "No, they haven't bothered us since you helped us out." Tison tells her, "You got it wrong. We beat them up to take back our land." Sun and Weetel are shocked that Tison is actually talking to humans. It's the first time in years he's spoken to people. Jimson shows up and thanks Tison for saving them. Tison pays Jimson's mom for the food and leaves. She's surprised he paid extra. Jimson starts to really like Tison. Right now, Jimson tells him, "I'm sure you'll protect me if the evil spirits come back, just like you protected me and my mom before." But Tison doesn't reply and changes the subject. Then we see Ojui with the spirit stone that disappeared from the excavation site, remembering when Saman told him, when Tison killed Haitai, he left behind 3 spirit stones. If we gather them all, we can awaken Haitai's power. The stone Oju has is the first one. We get a flashback of Haitai as a kid, following Tison and Rock. Rock tells Tison, "Haitai follows you because he loves you. He's got the supernatural power all the angels have. When he grows up, he'll guard the angels and always be by your side." Tison really liked the kid and played with him. When Haitai grew up, Tison told him, "We're here in this world to protect humans. That's it." Then the two of them go into battle against the evil spirits, landing devastating blows and defeating them. Here the first part of the series ends. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to get more new videos. See you next time.